All right. Anyway, all right. So, right quick, before I continue on to our last card, I went back to check about what I said earlier with the Tower card and its traditional planetary ruling, and it's Mars, and I don't agree with that. And here's why. Yes, Mars is associated with war, destruction to some degree. Mars is not sudden change, though. That is a Uranian theme. Also, Mars and Venus have also had a few mix-ups as far as their planetary interpretations. In my experience, I would also say that the strategy and planning for war that Mars gets a lot of credit for actually goes to Venus. And I would also say that you can look at the Tower as Mars, but the Martian theme is only present in the fire that has happened after the Tower has been struck with the lightning, in my opinion. Mars can bring about a certain chaos, but Martian energy is very heavily about preservation and protection, like doing things to protect and preserve, which has to do more so with boundary setting to a degree and not being afraid to use things like violence or weaponry to enforce that. And I just don't see that being Tower related specifically, but it is traditionally linked to Mars. So I do want to say that Pluto is actually linked to the Judgment card. And I can see that, but that with the heavy resurrection themes, it would be the result of Pluto's transformative energy in that aspect. I will say that. But yeah, we know that Mars and Pluto are both associated with Scorpio. So I would also look to those themes when it comes to those cards, if you wanted to look at it from that perspective. Because, the shadow or the destructive nature of Scorpio, I could see being very prevalent with the Tower card for sure. Even with Aries, since it's Mars, I could see that being destructive in the form of someone acting out, but not in the nature of the planet itself, if I'm making sense. But anyway, we're at the last card of the major arcana, which is the World card. Now, the World is associated with Saturn. And if you know anything about Saturn, you know that there is form and structure that is associated with Saturn. There's also discipline that's associated with Saturn. And like I said earlier, Saturn always gives me like that grandmotherly guidance. Like, when you think that you're about to just go wander off, it's the energy of get your ass back over here like I told you to and do this instead. It's that type of energy, and it's the energy that keeps you or has kept you along the path to reach the actual fulfillment of like your purpose and your goal at a higher level than just the things that we may think that we want. Okay. And so if you've ever had like a very caring and stern or disciplined grandmother figure in your life, then you know that energy. It's that type of energy. It's all for the best. It's the guidance to get you the best possible outcome and not leave you astray. And even if you don't have that, you can still have seen examples of that energy or have felt that energy through, working with that energy in some way or have it show up in your life in some way. It's very possible. So the World card has the fixed signs at each point, just like the Wheel of Fortune card. So represented here is Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo again. And then you have the woman in the center. And then you have this purple cloth that's wrapped around her body, which represents divinity. So this is, if we look at it from the Fool's journey, this is the Fool in the full acceptance of himself or the full acceptance of ourselves if we are associating ourselves with going through the Fool's journey. And this is the completion of that. This is like, you could even say reward to some degree. There's accomplishment that's associated with the World card. There's the ability to have sustained something that comes in with the World card. And I feel that the World card shows up also when things are able to be, or have, like, what do you call it? stood the test of time, and we know time is also associated with Saturn as well. So this is about sustaining the self. This is about sustaining your divine connectivity. This is about, again, authenticity, your true self shining through. All right. And like I said before, the fixed signs are here to sustain. Like, they're fixed because they are upholding a certain standard of energy in order for things to flow properly, whether that be through your ability to overcome your emotions or integrate lower natured emotions so that they are become a catalyst for change, with the Scorpio archetype here, from being stuck in fixed water to then elevating in order to see how to use your emotions, okay, and how to be in better relationship with your feelings. With Aquarius, your ability to see where you can give, where you can bring your gifts and talents into a situation. With Taurus here, your self-worth, okay, knowing that you are inherently worthy and valuable because you are here, you exist, and you don't have to prove that. You can just be in that. With Leo, understanding that you are here to shine, that you are here to be loving, that you're here to be creative, and that you are here to give to others as well in that. This is all of that, those energies that are, I would say, when you have integrated those, the lessons that bring you to the sense of completion with the World card. And the wreath is here with the cross to say that this is solid, that you have linked the positive nature of a cycle and gotten the lessons, and now you know how to move more confidently and walk in your purpose. That's what I feel from the World card. So big on acceptance and accomplishment when I see the World card, for sure. And this is a similar image for the Rider-Waite deck as well. And then we do notice that, hold on, she's holding 2 scepters here as well. So that means that she is in her power. Okay, she's in her sovereignty here. This is not someone who second guesses themselves anymore. And you can also see this is the reversed image of the Hanged Man card. You're not tied up anymore. You're choosing to elevate and rise, but you have the same position here because you've shifted your lens and perspective in order to be enlightened. Oh, you could just say it like that. All right. So in the High Council Oracle and Tarot deck, they both got the yiddies out, so I'm going to have to cover her up. But this is a beautiful image of the World card, in my opinion. And there's also an elephant around her neck here, which I feel like represents the overcoming of the obstacles that have been faced along the way of the Fool's journey here. All right. And then you also have what's written on the card. And hold on, I want you to see the expression on her face as well. Like, this is elation. This is bliss. This is satisfaction. This is someone who is completely comfortable with who they are. They've accepted themselves. Like, you get that energy here in this card as well. And you can see the world behind her here. And what it says is wholeness, accomplishments, and achievements. And then in the reverse meanings, it has trials. I think trials could go from upright or reverse, because this is the success of passing through the trials, for one. But in the reverse meaning, it has emotionally attached. And then also for upright, it has closure as well, and tribulations for the reverse meaning. So it's the same things. I love that there is black here as well, because that is also another Saturnian theme. I love the colors, and I love that she is shirtless and free and just accepting. Like, it's just acceptance. It's satisfaction to a degree, but it also shows that you haven't just rested on your laurels, so to speak. When you get to the World card, the journey does continue, but you're continuing on with knowing who you are versus trying to figure out who you are, or you are seeing things clearly. You're coming from a place of knowing versus guessing. And it can also show that there is one cycle that has finished and another one is also beginning. That can show up as well when the World card comes out in a reading. So yeah, that wraps up our Major Arcana series. Hopefully you got something from it. I enjoyed doing it. We'll see what I come up with next. I'm glad we got to the end of this, and appreciate you guys' time, attention, and energy as always. I saw that. And I'll catch y'all next time. All right. Peace.